we're back on Roblox this week with another interesting game. This is Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Reimagined, which is a reimagining of Five. No, why am I explaining it? It's literally in the name. Anyway, I said a while back that I've never actually played a FNAF game before. I've seen gameplay of all of them, pretty much, but I never actually played one before. I played this one just to have played it because I thought it was interesting. And it's free on Roblox, which is another cool thing. So I am going to play this for you guys, I think. Now I did get all the way through to night 6, I think. Maybe I'm on night 5. I don't remember. But I am going to start a new game because I want to show you the guys the mechanics as they get introduced, so I have time to actually talk about them.
Hey, Michael, this is Ryan. I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from. I want you to know that I didn't mean to throw all this on your shoulders. There were just a few things that came up, and I just didn't have the time for the night shift anymore. Anyway, a pity party won't get you through your first night. Henry wanted me to give you a quick rundown on how everything works, so get ready. For starters, you can access the surveillance cameras on the monitor in front of you. Go ahead and
I'm just
pull
gonna.
them up. Great. Here, you'll be able to monitor the entrances and the animatronic characters.
Can I?
Some of these cameras are pretty dark, so I ended up messing with that old
Can't skip
flashlight
this
system the
apparently.
previous owner had in the diner. I jerry-rigged it to the camera. There should be a button on the bottom right of the screen. Why don't you give it a press? Can't tell you how many times it saved my job. Saved my job. Okay. Well, anyway, you should also know about the power saving procedure that the building undergoes during morning hours. You'll notice lights flickering, electrical noises, and even sometimes short outages. Don't get nervous when this stuff happens. It's all normal. The building will allocate more power automatically, so your lights will be back on in a couple of seconds. Sometimes certain cameras will go dark, and you'll have to reactivate them manually. There's a fuse box right behind where you're sitting. Pop it open. When you open it up, you'll see the tape I put on each switch to indicate which camera it controls. Use them to reactivate any camera that goes dark here. I'm not a master electrician, but the wiring will get the job done. There weren't enough switches for all of the cameras, so I only hooked up the most important ones. The remaining ones are wired up to the main breaker in the parts and service room. You won't need to worry about those. As you've seen during the day shift, the animatronics love to stretch their legs, even when they are supposed to be off. Henry had some technical explanation about their joints locking up or something, but I didn't pay much attention. If you don't see them on the cameras, you can check the hallway with your flashlight. Henry and William both assured me that the animatronics were harmless, but just in case, I figured out a way to get them to leave the office. At least with the newer models, they were designed to interact with other characters. So I snatched an old Freddy headpiece from the parts and service room. Putting that on your head will trick the newer models into thinking you're one of them. Try it out. It might smell though. It's pretty old. Great. One more thing. You'll hear an alarm periodically once they start moving. All this means is that an animatronic tripped one of the ventilation motion sensors. Alright, I think that's everything for tonight. I'm not gonna call you again. You know, with the boss breathing over my shoulder.
All right. So right away we've got. It's very reminiscent of the actual Five Nights at Freddy's 2. There are obviously aesthetic changes to everything. Your flashlight doesn't have batteries. The camera layout is slightly different. Let's see if I can find. Chica's already in the main hallway. And now I assume that Chica is in this hallway. Hello, Chica. Hello. The animatronics are mostly stationary on camera, but they do twitch slightly, which I'm not sure if that makes them feel more or less creepy. Obviously, we've got our desk fan. I do appreciate like the mug, the coffee mug in front of the clock, so you can't see the minutes. You can see the hour, but you can't see the minutes. That's a very cool and diegetic way to do it. Yeah. See, it's 1 now. But otherwise, it's very reminiscent of the actual game. There are different mechanics, of course, and they'll get expanded upon as time goes by. Although you're about to go into the vent, aren't you? Clunk Thunk, hello. And yeah, the one thing you might notice is there's no puppet. There's no puppet meter, and that's not like a later game mechanic. There's just straight up no puppet in this game, which is very interesting because the puppet was in the original FNAF 2. The puppet was hello, goodbye. The puppet was the thing that made you check the cameras to open the cameras to facilitate jump scares. Here, there's no camera requirement. For the jump scare stuff, as you saw, but there is still other reasons to check the cameras. So this game... Someone else in the vent? Is that Bonnie? Yeah, that's Bonnie. And here Bonnie comes. Hello. How you doing, sir? Alright, goodbye. Now, the game definitely gets a lot more complicated as time goes on. Not really time, but as the nights go on. This first night is basically a tutorial to teach you how the mask works. So, yeah, the fuse box is a new mechanic. There's a couple of additional stuff that's similar. There's some stuff that's pretty different. Yeah, but the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through until night 2 and we'll pick up from there. Oh, both of you at once. Hello, yes, I am real Fredwood Fuzzbear. Buy my pizza. Okay. Now this time, I'm just gonna hang up on him, because I don't care. I can explain better than he will. His explaining is more in-universe and cool, but my explaining is more concise and direct. Now, the first night you can literally win by just keeping your mask down, because there's only the vent guys going on. Hello. They are staring at me. Now this night adds in Foxy. Now Foxy was the main sort of, I don't know, the main rogue element in FNAF 2, in that he couldn't be stopped by the mask. Okay, you hear him. You heard that little growly sound. He's in one of the party rooms, and you gotta flash him. He's what makes you check the cameras, because he's often in the cameras, and you need to flash him with the flash beacon to make him not kill you. So he also isn't fooled by the mask, but he's not fooled by a mask in a, oh, you just gotta flash your light in the hallway a couple dozen times till it goes away, and in more of an active response kind of way. Now, I don't mean to demean the original FNAF 2 too much throughout all of this, because, well, oh man, already? Where are you? There you are. Goodbye. Okay, and you're about to jump out. Gonna wait for the audio cue though. Yeah, but I do want to say, like, FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 especially were very experimental. Get out of here. Get lost. Nobody cares about you. They were very experimental. Especially the FNAF 1 was like a last-ditch attempt to make a successful product that people would actually play. Because Scott Cawthon was literally on his last legs and was ready to give up his dream of game design. I think, maybe not quite that extreme, but something along those lines. Anyway. Yeah. He wasn't really putting, like, huge amounts of effort into making the most cohesive game experience possible. He was just trying to make a creepy game. And he made a creepy game. He made a vaguely creepy game. I haven't heard Foxy in a while, I'm worried. Okay, he's only ever in one of those 4 party rooms, so if he's not there... Oof, jeez, I almost flubbed it. Hi, Chica, can you go away, please? Thank you. So, like, the original FNAF 1 was pretty bare bones. And FNAF 2 was an expansion on it. It had a bunch of elements. They were not the best design, but again, this was like Scott realized he'd struck gold and he was trying to put some more oomph behind it so he could keep his career going. And yeah, back then Scott was largely an amateur in game design, and I should always make a point whenever I say it. Geez, Chica's moving quickly. That whenever I use the word amateur, I'm not trying to do it in a derogatory sense. A lot of people will do that. Like amateur is like slang for low quality. To me, yes, amateur work and low quality work do go sort of hand in hand, but that's like expected. Like you don't expect an amateur to actually do good work because they don't have the experience needed for that. So when I say amateur, I just mean like, yeah, it's good for what it is. It's just we don't. Okay. I really don't like it when they overlap like that. Chica's got to pop out eventually, right? Yeah. To me, amateur is not meant to be derogatory. It's like, oh yeah, this is like flawed in an expected way, and the FNAF games were definitely flawed in expected ways. And that's kind of one of the great things about how Scott has handled the whole FNAF thing, and like he's embraced fan works even to the point of like fan recreations that are basically the original game but slightly different. Like it's hard to argue that this is anything other than FNAF 2 but with different mechanics on the characters. And he's allowed that. And I know Roblox is largely a lawless wasteland where nobody can stop that from being allowed. But Scott isn't the kind of person to feel upset by that. That's great, because what that has done is that's allowed people to take his older concepts for the older games and like go crazy with them, like this. Like this is genuinely a interesting FNAF-like. Okay, that was Bonnie, I believe. Yeah, Bonnie. Bonnie in the vent. Oop, one of the cameras went down. Oh god, please be in the hallway. Okay, sometimes he can appear in the hallway. Okay. Bonnie, please leave. Because I can't flash the beacon in Cam 3 if Cam 3 is disabled. But I can't turn around to open the fuse box, because if Bonnie comes out... Nah, forget it. He's in the hole again. Come on, Bonnie. I don't like you being in the vent. Yeah. And Scott has allowed people to basically take his older concepts and make them into something that's genuinely good and sort of go crazy with them. And that's allowed a lot of people to sort of stretch their legs and flex their wings. It's like tied back to, I think this is what I talked about in that one Minecraft video that has like the most views out of any Minecraft video in the series, even though literally all I'm doing is talking to the screen and mining dirt. That FNAF, the original FNAF, was one of the most influential games of the century. Bonnie is really spending a long time in that vent. He's in the hall again. There he is. Jeez, man, you took your time. Where the hell are your eyes? Yeah, this is a Roblox game, and I have my graphics turned down quite a bit, so it's not going to be perfect. But that's entirely my own fault, my system's fault. It's not the game itself. Because like, small insight into my setup here. I'm on a 6-year-old laptop. I am on a 6-year-old laptop. So performance issues are not game issues. I am on a 6-year-old laptop on an Ethernet cable wired into a network booster box that is plugged into my wall outlet. So I am not on a professional setup that prevents these kinds of things from happening. But anyway, yeah. Like, And this kind of work, this kind of fan work, is also in the genre and in the vein of really important because it doesn't just allow people to create; it allows people to quote unquote fix. And in fixing stuff, it allows people to sort of apply game design knowledge based on their own gaming experience without having to like create an entire cohesive product. It's like even more entry level than entry level.
Michael,
Shut up.
you there? I've got a couple more things to warn you about. Hopefully they
Shut
haven't
up.
already started.
And this one adds in Fredward. See this guy? Fredward. He starts in cam 10, he moves to cam 12. When he moves to cam 12, I'll need to flash him to send him back. Anyway, yeah, it's allowed people to sort of to whet their appetite for game design and game development, which is the entire FNAF series is really important for that, and Scott's handling of it has just made it better. It's one of the reasons I appreciate... Wow, ready? Get out of the hallway, man. One of the reasons I appreciate FNAF as a franchise, even if I don't really appreciate the gameplay as that much. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this gameplay, but it's not like the kind of thing I'd play for hours on end because it's not really designed to be. But I digress. Like, I appreciate it as a franchise, even if I don't consider it to be like incredibly technically advanced, because it's so good for the amateur industry and the people trying to get used to game development. So we've got more usage of the flash beacon and trying to get you into the cameras now, which is another thing. Like in the original FNAF 2, Toy Freddy was just like an ordinary. He was the main hall version of Chica and Bonnie. I don't even know if this is Toy Freddy. I think that's actually Withered Freddy. I don't know if Toy Freddy ever actually comes off the stage. Vents are clear. I mean, no Bonnie's in there, but I don't know where Chica. I think Chica's at the vent. Chica's in the hallway. I don't know where Chica is. Ah, there's Chica. Hi, Chica. How you doing? Freddy hasn't moved yet. He's being all slow. Okay, that was Chica going into the van. Another thing this game does that's really good is it removes Balloon Boy. And I think we can all agree that Balloon Boy was the worst part of FNAF 2. Because he's like not particularly interesting. His design doesn't fit the other animatronics. Hi, Chica! Okay, goodbye, Chica. And he's a soft failure. Okay, that was Freddy moving. Go away, Freddy. And I think that was Bonnie getting to the vent. Yeah, Bonnie in the vent now. Oh, here comes Bonnie. Making up for last night, huh? You still haven't found your eyes though, man. I'm sorry about that. I think I pried him out and stuffed him under my desk. I'm sorry. Okay, and that's Foxy. He's in the hallway. Ah, I forgot Mangle activated tonight. Mangle is the center hallway version of the vent animatronics. Hi, Mangle! Instead of being... I don't know how Mangle worked. I think Mangle was like another left vent animatronic. Right vent animatronic, I think, actually. Okay, and that was Fredward. Hi, Chica. What's that? Jeez, moved again. Which one went down? Okay, camera 1 went down. It's Foxy. He's in the hall again. Man, he really likes the hall this time. He almost never went into the hall in my previous playthrough. Anyway. Mangle was like another right vent animatronic that just behaved very I think that was Chica. No one's in the vents. Okay, I thought I heard someone go into the vents. But now Mangle is the center hallway version of... Okay, that was Bonnie. Yeah. Oh. Predicted him. See, that's the thing about picking the hallway every time. You're predictable, even though your time is it's different, and I can't predict it. I don't know, I like checking the hallway occasionally. Just gotta keep flashing Fredward so he doesn't get any closer to the office. He'll move to like 7, and then he moves into the main hall, and I don't know if you can stop him once he's in the main hall, or the front hall, I guess, because the main hall is actually camera 7. But, okay. Okay, that was Chica getting in the vent. So now both Bonnie and Chica in the vents. Oh, I was so close. I think I got Foxy. Yeah, okay, I heard him deactivate. The sound was paused for some reason. I think these jump scares actually do, because they force you into the mask for a significant amount of time, they actually do pause the other animatronics. I know at least the withered ones that'll show up on tonight, the next night. Okay, we should put it down. Do pause everything. I went down Cam 10. I'll leave Cam 10 off. Cam 10 is dumb. Who cares about Cam 10? Nothing important happens in Cam 10. But yeah, I think because I flashed him right as the jump scare started, it didn't like trigger his go away. It was like cued, but it didn't happen until after. Hi, Bonnie. Hi. How you doing, buddy? Okay, which camera is it this time? Of course, camera 10 being out does mean that the other cameras will go out more often. Might as well. Okay, where is he? Oh, and Fredward moved. Okay. There we go. Alright. Chica's in pole position, but not in the vent yet. Okay, that's Chica going to the vent. We're almost at 6. We should be fine. Gotta get used to using space to enter the cameras. I use space to exit the cameras. I need to use it to enter the cameras, because you can click on the cameras to enter them. I think Bonnie went into the vent. Oh, now Bonnie went into the vent. Alright, 6 a.m. I'm about ready for you to happen. Thank you. Alright. So that was night 3, and it already is getting quite something. Night 4 doesn't add any new complexities, but it does add in a little bit more you have to be prepared for when the complexities do happen. Because night 4 adds in Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica. And they're like completely different. Like in FNAF 2, Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica were basically just carbon copies of Bonnie and Chica. They even attacked from the same vents, I think. Shut up.
Michael, listen.
I'm pretty sure that unpausing or muting the call actually does make them move a bit faster. Okay, Fredbird. He always starts in 10. You can't actually push him back from 10. Oh man, he moved already? Yeah. Foxy already, huh? So I generally leave it on 12 so that I can quick flash Freddy whenever he moves. Otherwise I'll check the... Jeez. I'll check the party rooms and the vents, and that's pretty much all I use the cameras for. There's probably a better way to do it, because like keeping track of where things are is beneficial in this, vaguely. I mean, stuff could... Hi, Mangle, you don't have an appearing in the hallway animation. Jeez, Freddy's being a bastard. Freddy's being a real horkball. Everyone else is leaving me alone, though. I appreciate that. Hi, Mangle. You're here to prove me wrong, aren't you? Okay. Somebody's in the vents. Chicas! The chicas are in the vents. And here comes Mangle too. I do like that these jump scares can sync up so that when you have a ton queued, they aren't all like... Okay, here we go. One of the cameras went out. Oh god. Oh god, my ears. I keep forgetting how loud that is. Okay, camera 2 is off. One of the Bonnies is in the vents. Ow, my face. Ow, my face with your face. Wow, he wasted no time, huh? Okay. I fumbled it again. I hit S instead of... I pressed every button except the button that turns on the mask. Alright. That was quite the night 4. At least we saw one of the withered animatronics before I died. I think I'm not going to go on to night 5. That's Fredward. God, I unironically cannot stop calling him Fredward now. Hello. Glad he picked the hallway, otherwise it wouldn't have been possible to flash both at the same time. Because that beacon has a good long recharge on it. Good lord, man! Calm down, sir! You're being even more aggressive than last time. Here comes Mangle again. Here's Mangle again. How the hell does Mangle even move on the ceiling? I know that's like carried over from the actual FNAF 2, but how does that even work? Okay. Okay, we've got... Oh my god, what the hell? It's a double wide vent! And here comes the withered Bon. God, that is still that is just way too loud. Honestly, that actually genuinely hurts my ears a little when it goes off because it's loud. It's that bad combination of loud and high pitched. I know it's kind of supposed to be loud and high pitched, but it's a little too loud and high pitched, I think. Jeez. Hi, Chica. Good lord, man! The beacon barely just recharged! Okay, that's not Chica in the vent. No, it is Chica in the vent. Okay. My god, man! Calm down, sir! I am not trying to steal your IP. Also, Fred moved again. Oh, he moved again. Jeez. Alright. It's all the way back in 10. Does the monitor say view stuff on it? Mangle approaches. God, it's partying here. Okay, there's Bonnie. There's Mangle. Ah, man, they're both double wide vents. I don't know why Bonnie's eyes aren't here. I literally I re I actually did relaunch the game to try to see if that would fix it, but it didn't. Crisis temporarily averted. Good lord. That was like 4 things coming at me at once. 5 if you include Foxy, who kind of just shoehorned himself in the middle there. Speaking of... Oh, great. And Freddy. Didn't even realize you were in the vent. Once they turn around, you're good. I do appreciate the presence of extremely incredibly distinct audio cues for the difference in between the toy and the wizards, so that you always know which one's gonna pop out at you, even if you haven't checked the vent. Okay, which way down? Okay, camera 2. Got a brief moment of clarity here. Fix camera 2. Hi! Okay, someone's in a vent. Bonnie in a vent. God damn it! No! Ow! Oh man, that's not how you use that, man! Ow! I shouldn't have gone for the fuse. Man, that was rude. Freddy moved into. I should have tried to just keep Freddy out of 7 and repaired 12 when Bonnie was gone. I took a big risk and it did not pay off. Alright, well that's just about all I have time for, I think. I'm gonna cut this here. So thank you all for watching this. This is actually pretty fun, and it's decently challenging too. Like there's the night 5 after this, and then there's night 6. I haven't gotten to either of those yet. But yeah, Toy Bonnie is my nemesis, and I encourage you all to give games like this on Roblox a try. This is called FNAF 2 Reimagined. I'll put a link to it in the description. Thank you all for watching.